Thank you everyone for joining us. This is part of a new series from Sherweb. We're trying to get to know our partners better, and especially with this crazy situation that we have right now and everyone adapting to working remotely, we thought it would be especially pertinent. So I'm Alex from Sherweb, and with me today I have JP Couture from Pro Contact Informatique. So JP, thank you for joining me. Tell us a little bit about Pro Contact.
All right. Well, thanks for having me, Alex. So, ProContact, we've been in business for over 30 years now. We're based out basically of Quebec City. We have two offices, one in Montreal, one in Quebec, and we are a proud Sherweb partner. We were traditionally known as a value-added reseller, so a VAR. We modified our model a bit a few years ago, transitioning to MSP and cloud solutions. So we are in the middle of this big shift, I guess, as most of our partners are, and here we are.
Okay, so speaking of that, how did the shift initially affect your company internally? How, when you got the
Yeah.
news from ProContact, what were the first steps?
Yeah, well, I guess we've been lucky enough. ProContact has been mostly on Office 365 and using Microsoft 365 for a few years now. So working remotely for us was kind of a natural shift. And I'll say that we did that naturally because everybody was used to working on Teams, working with OneDrive, SharePoint, and all. The only thing we had to do is to buy a few more laptops because some people were working with traditional PCs at the office, and then
Okay.
to get them working from home, we just had to buy a few ones. So that's basically it. Yeah.
Okay, so as far as the culture of everyone having to work remotely and via video conference, they were kind of already used to it a little bit.
Absolutely. We used to call each other on Teams. Well, of course, we used to use our traditional phone system because we had it. But now that we don't anymore, I mean, it was just natural to call people on Teams and do Teams meeting and exchange documents. I would say that it even accelerated the way we use Teams today and the way we collaborate together. Back a few weeks, we used to send each other documents and then save it as version one, version two, and then send it back. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
We don't do that anymore. We have conversations and we have teams in which we exchange documents and we work simultaneously on it. So it kind of occurred naturally for us. Yep.
Hmm. So yeah, so it drove the adoption a lot. You know,
Absolutely. Yeah,
that's
yeah,
great.
absolutely.
Have any of these types of like little quirks and new ways of working made their way into your conversations with your clients? Just to, like as an example, we're doing this now.
Well, yeah, absolutely, it did, and we did two things with that. First thing is that we realized that, of course, people were using Team, but they were mainly using it to chat and to exchange documents like kind of fast, and take this,
Hmm.
and they were even taking documents on their Teams and saving it on their desktop and saving it as V1, V2, and then sending it back. So what we did is we organized webinars, two of them so far, and the third one is on Monday. And we've been talking about how to use Teams, how to use OneDrive and SharePoint, and then that led our teams to take this knowledge to our customers.
Okay.
So by bringing this new way of working to our colleagues, well, they took it and brought it to their customers as well. So yeah, it led to a change in our ways of doing business together, but in the way we do business with our customers as well. Because you know. A sales representative using Teams for his own needs can easily sell it for a customer if he thinks
Absolutely.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And speaking of the of your customers, how did they first react? Was it them that reached out to
Yeah.
you right away, like, oh my God, we need to shift, or did you have any type of proactive campaign?
Yeah, I would say both.
Both.
So we had campaigns. As I was telling you, we did two things. So we did webinars for our team, and we also did that for our customers. And then we, of course, we had a pipeline, right? So we are
Yeah.
a sales organization. So we had a pipeline for Microsoft 365 and Teams and everything. So it I guess it accelerated the pipeline quite a bit. So lots of our customers called us saying, we need to move now. We had this project. We're supposed to go through that during the summer, but we decided to execute that right now. And that is one part of it. The second part of it is everything surrounding Teams and Office 365 with the security. So we pushed a lot on everything that's Microsoft 365 and conditional access and
Mm-hmm.
securing the documents, information protection, access and identity and stuff like that. Because customers were realizing, I need my people to be working from home, but I need that to be done safely. So we kind of we taught them how to do that along the way.
Okay. And was it them coming at you with the we need security as well, or was it more you with like to do due diligence, you need to have
Yeah.
security?
No, I would say that was pretty much the other way around. It was ProContact pushing to the customer and making them aware of the risks of
Okay.
enabling working teleworkers, workers from home, without taking care of the security aspect first. So yeah, we reached out to our customer. We organized some marketing campaigns around that too, just to make sure everybody knows that the rules don't change even if you work from home. You can change the tools you're using, but you
Yes.
still to maintain you have to maintain the same governance around your information and your tools. Yeah.
Mhm. And having those discussions, about security and the tools, do you feel that before it was more of a luxury to have all this set up working from home, and now it's more part of
Yeah.
necessity, or?
No, absolutely. It became a necessity because people used to rely on their VPN,
Mhm.
antivirus VPN, and you go through the network policies anyway. So there won't be any needs for other type of security like identity based security or mobile device management solutions and stuff like that. So I guess some of our customers realize that, oh, okay, now customers or end users are working from home, and they can bypass the VPN quite easily,
Yes.
and go on their home router and go on the internet from their work device. So they realize it is a necessity to be able to manage the accesses as well as the device that they're using.
Okay.
Yep.
And were there any of the customers that weren't on Office 365 at all that you had to kind of introduce that whole world to them?
Yeah, well, absolutely, absolutely. So some people were not, as I call them, were not transformed. They were
Hmm.
in more kind of traditional businesses where they had on-prem stack and no really collaboration with on-prem exchange and everything like that. So when you get to be working from home, and there's a big shift in the market. You see everybody online is using Teams. I mean, some people were just asking, maybe should I be using that too because it looks really efficient.
Hmm.
So yes, of course, it drove some customers who were not using Teams to the Office 365 platform. Absolutely.
Okay. And have you used any of the like some of the responses from Microsoft, like the trials for
Yeah,
E1s? Yeah. And what about other? Because you talked a bit about security as well. Is Office Protect part of that conversation as well to kind of simplify those alerts?
correct. It is absolutely. So first thing, yeah, we did leverage the Microsoft offer with free E1 licenses and
Hmm.
and Teams because Microsoft has made a lot of noise around that, which is great because customers were made aware of the fact that these licenses are offered for free. So then we began using these licenses to provide them to our customers. And about Office Protect, yes, of course. So when you need to configure your Office 365 security in a rush, let's say you got to do that
Yeah.
fast, Office Protect is the perfect tool to play in the portal and do the right configurations easily through Office Protect. And you can choose the level of security that you want to put in place, either
Right.
be low, medium, or high security, depending of your policies. And Office Protect can help you do just that in a few clicks. So yeah.
Okay, so the time saving aspect, while nice before, now is vital because they don't have the time.
Absolutely, they
Okay.
don't. And you know what? At a certain point in time, they did not have the time to do it. Neither did we. So no, right? Because I like to take the time to do things correctly and to make sure our professional services are well informing our customers and they're taking care of
Mhm.
their needs. But at some point, it comes down to doing this efficiently, and Office Protect helped us to accomplish that. Yeah.
Okay. And all of this, deployment, rolling out new services, is all of this being done at a distance?
Yeah, absolutely. We're all doing that from home, and we realize, well, in the actual situation, people don't even want us to come over anyway. So yeah, we all did that through a distance. So people just gave us access to their platform for migration, and then simply their Office 365 tenant, so we can do the setup. And everything is quite simple. I mean, once you get when you get to it in a rush, and you decide that okay, people will start using Teams, it pretty much comes down to AD Connect, right? To make sure you
Mhm.
get the same identities across both platforms, and then downloading Teams, and there you go. And then through our webinars, we show them how to build the teams, and why should you be using a conversation versus a group chat or stuff like that.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Okay, so a lot of like how to work smarter,
yeah,
with those tools. Okay,
yeah,
that's great.
absolutely.
Is there any tips for other MSPs that are, like say like whenever you reached out to the first clients, were there any faux pas or anything like, oh, we're not going to do it that way again, or anything that comes to mind that because
Well,
you're a pioneer.
yeah, yeah. Well, you know what? Always design with security. Always take security first, because it's too easy to just go with the flow and say, oh, here's Teams, just download it, and
Hmm.
and put it in place and stuff. And that can lead to a bad experience to your customer, right? So
Okay.
don't I mean, yes, you can go fast, but make sure you give them the appropriate amount of information, everything that they do need to work with the platform. It is an absolute necessity. And do not forget to work with the security in mind, because people will be taking the information out of their organization and bringing it on the personal devices, and
Hmm.
which might not be appropriate. So they'll do things like that. Keep that
Yeah.
in mind, because they'll thank you later.
Yeah, I'm sure a few providers would have liked to have that advice a couple of weeks ago when they suggested a different platform that we've seen since has
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah,
privacy and security issues.
yeah.
Uh,
I guess they did.
yeah,
Yeah,
looking towards the future, because there will be an after. Is whenever you're reaching out to clients right now, is there that are you seeding, for the future as well? Like, we're patching, we're fixing right now, but looking
yeah.
long term, is there that part of the conversation right now, or do you feel it's still too early?
Well, it is a bit early, even though I think we're reaching that point like this week, or in a week from now.
The
Um,
famous apex.
Yeah, yeah. So a few things. We were talking about security. That will still be a trend in the upcoming weeks, because people will leave with some aftertaste in their mouth, right? Saying, I maybe I forgot to implement the security correctly. So
Hmm.
we've got to keep that in mind. That will be a future trend for sure. Second thing, I think we'll see a huge acceleration in digital transformation.
Hmm.
Right now is not the time for a sysadmin to be patching systems. They need to be providing value to their organization.
Yeah.
They need to be taking care of the security, enabling the mobile workforce. And second part is, we hear that a lot these days. Cash is king, so you need
Yeah.
to preserve your capital to be able to focus on your core competency as a business. And for most of our customers, IT is not their core competency. It
Hmm.
is our
Right.
core competency, but not theirs, right? So when you move to as a service model, it could be IaaS or PaaS or SaaS. You can keep your capital for like strategic expenses, and be expensing your infrastructure through IaaS and through Azure. Right now, I guess a lot of our customers would are wishing to bring back the few $100,000 that they may have invested
Hmm.
in a on-prem infrastructure. I'm not saying it's a bad way to do things. It'll never be, but it's, of course, right now, if you need $1 million to be paying your salaries, if it's been invested in infrastructure, well, then you probably need your capital back.
Okay, so as a fundamental change from this period, it would be fair to say that the old conversation of CapEx versus OpEx is really going to lean towards the OpEx from now on for any company talking about IT.
Yeah, I will think so. Plus, for burstable capacity.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that if you need to be deploying desktop fast right now, you don't have any time to buy like 2, 3, 5 servers with loaded of RAM to distribute Windows virtual desktop sessions, right? You don't have the time to do that. So let's do it from Azure directly.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be more efficient anyway. So I think this is a trend that will be picking up. In Canada, because this is where we're located, we've been a bit behind on digital transformation compared to the US and Europe. I think it'll pick up. I think it'll pick up in the next few months.
Okay. Well, on that positive note, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much again for your time. I think these were amazing insights. I think it's going to be of great value to our other partners. So thank you again, and stay home, stay safe, and we'll see you soon. All
All
right.
right, likewise, Alex. Thanks a lot.